Welcome to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast, a show for ambitious women who are ready to ditch their 9-to-5 and create an online business doing work that's in alignment with their calling. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, business and money mindset coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Each week, I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and cultivate an abundance mindset that will help you create a profitable, service-based online business. If you're ready to make an income and impact doing what you love, let's do this. Welcome everyone to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast. Today we're talking about 3 reasons why your mindset work isn't working. Because we need to be doing mindset work. It is a major belief of mine that mindset work is necessary, whether or not you even have a business. To give you a little backstory when it comes to my own personal journey, I was in a place years ago where I was addicted to drugs. I was numbing myself with drugs, drinking, shopping, all the things that we do when we don't want to actually deal with what's going on internally. I completely numbed myself. I was suicidal and I was stuck in a 9-to-5 job for over 15 years. I think it's around 16 years I was in that job. Mindset work literally saved my life. It literally changed my life. It saved me, and I stand by it. I think if you have a business, if you don't have a business, it is the thing that's really going to help you create more of what you want. And I also believe, of course, that we need to be taking action. That's why strategy is part of my process. And the energetics go hand in hand with the mindset work, because what we're thinking about on a regular basis is affecting the vibration that we're giving off, that we're in throughout our day, and that really contributes to how we're experiencing the world around us. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 reasons why your mindset work might not be working. So this is for you if you are an avid journaler like I am, if you write in your journal every day, if you do things like vision boards, if you do visualizations and things like that. Today's episode is really going to help you have that breakthrough that you're probably struggling to have. So the first thing we want to look at is if you have been journaling around the same big picture vision for months and months and months. So whether you're journaling and writing this stuff out, or you've had the same things on your vision board and absolutely nothing's changing, absolutely nothing is actually coming into reality, that's a sign that your mindset work isn't working. Because yes, we can have some bigger things on our vision board. You might have a vision for a multi-million-dollar business. That's not going to happen overnight. Might be your dream house that's like worth millions of dollars. That might not manifest super fast. But there are other things on there, other things that you are writing out for the reality that you want to experience that should be coming into your physical reality if your mindset work is working. Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at what you have been envisioning for your life and for your business over the past, let's say 6 months. Let's go with 6 months. What have you been wanting for the last 6 months, and what has actually manifested? Because when it comes to time is an illusion. It's not even a real fucking thing anyway. But we want to be looking at how are things actually shifting. Because we can sit with our mindset work, we can sit with our journal, and we can play in this realm of play pretend, which is really powerful. That's where everything's created. I'm all for fantasizing. I'm all for getting in the energy of what's possible and being in that vibe as much as possible. But if we're only in that space in our journal and nothing is showing up for us, that's a sign that some things need to shift. That's a sign that things aren't truly working, because if it was, the things that are on your big picture vision list or on your vision board, part of those things, some aspect of that bigger picture vision would become part of your physical reality. Okay, the second thing we want to look at is you have been journaling out the same fears and limitations. And they have the same charge. They have the same emotional charge. And I add that second piece in there because as we're growing and expanding in our business, it's totally normal to have the same types of fears come up. There's an expression, new level, new devil. Often this has to do with not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough. We can have some hangups with family, people that helped raise us and things like that. There can be some stories there that don't completely disappear. And that's normal. But when we're doing mindset work and it's working, what will happen is the emotional charge and connection that we have to those fears and those limitations aren't as strong anymore, right? So there might be a time when you're doing your mindset work where these certain fears came up and they were absolutely crippling. Like I can think of things off the top of my head that would take me out for an entire day. Like I would get up in my head around something. It was a fear, it was a limitation, and I would have to take some CBD oil and go take a nap in order to even feel better, in order to be able to function. right? I did the mindset work, and now those same fears might come up, those stories might come up, but I can shift them in a matter of minutes, right? I think the longest I had recently, it was like maybe a couple hours. I sat with something, it was just like, okay, enough's enough. I need to dig in and do this work. But then after that time period, the emotional charge was gone. Right. So even if we're not completely clearing things, because I think that's possible for some fears, some limitations, for most of us, they're going to be there. Fear is part of the journey, especially if you're an entrepreneur. That's something that we just have to get used to. But it's how much of the charge is still there. How entangled are you with that fear? Or how entangled are you with that limitation? Because if your mindset work is working, that stuff will still come up, but you're going to be able to shift it really, really quickly. And it's not going to take you out. It's not going to hold you back from taking action for another week in your business. You're going to be able to clear it really fast. And then the third thing we want to look at is your actual results. And this is where people get really fucking uncomfortable, because if your mindset work is working, your results should be shifting. So you should be making more money. You should be signing more clients. You should be showing up more powerfully. You should be doing different things to grow your audience. Okay. You should see different results if your mindset work is working. And there's no timeline on this necessarily. I said 6 months earlier, just to give you guys a rough idea. But for some people, you might have some heavier stuff to move through. And that's perfectly okay. We're all on our own journey. We're all doing this at our own pace. But what we want to do is get really real with ourselves. Get really fucking real with yourself. So if you've had, you've been wanting to sign on a one-to-one client or 2 new one-to-one clients for the last 6 months and you're not seeing the results, nothing is happening. No amount of journaling is going to change that, right? I'm just going to be really fucking real with you guys. You can journal all day long around how you're magnetizing ideal clients, how people pay you in your sleep. People are magnetized to your content. You can journal on that stuff all day long, but if your results aren't there, it's not working. And I say this with so much love because I've been there. I've totally been there. And the reason why we do this, the reason why we cling to mindset work and think that it is the be all and end all of everything, is because it can get really comfortable to live in our journals. And I know people who have had 14 fucking thousand breakthroughs, and they post on social media, just had another big breakthrough, just had another massive breakthrough. Nothing has changed in their life for years, but they've had all these different breakthroughs. Okay. So yes, the mindset work's important. Obviously, I teach it, I preach it, I live it, but we need to also follow things up with action. And that's the first thing we want to look at when we want to shift out of the space of our mindset work isn't working. We want to get really real with ourselves and say, okay, so what have I been doing in terms of action? Because the way I teach mindset work, one of the components of that is to look into your bigger picture vision. So who is the version of you who's making the 10K month? Who is the version of you who's living that life on your vision board? Are you actually being that person in your day-to-day life? Or are you that person when you're journaling or when you're visualizing or meditating, and then the other 23 hours a day, you're living in this other identity that's really wrapped up in fear, lack, and scarcity? Because we want to be growing, we want to be expanding. And so action is the thing that's really going to help us here. Like, we can do the mindset work, we can journal out what it is we truly desire, we can journal around the identity of who that person is, and then we need to take the fucking action. And this is where a lot of people, they don't want to do it because it's scary, it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. Growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. And I'm all for having an experience in your business, especially, that feels really good. I think if we're running a business that's based on our purpose and passion, we want to be doing things that light us up. We want to be doing things that feel really good for us, but we can't grow unless we're uncomfortable. Like, I remember the first time I did a live stream, I was ready to shit myself. I was horrified. Like, I was practically in tears when I got off of it. It was a horrible experience. And I wasn't comfortable doing lives for a very, very long time. And I still sometimes get nervous. Like, I think it's perfectly normal for us to have that little, like, oof, that little, like, ting of nervousness before we hit the go live button. But we do it anyway. We take the action anyway. Call out. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's a real thing. Like, the fear, the nervousness, the holy fuck kind of feeling, we don't need to completely eliminate that in order to take action. We just need to move through it. Because a lot of times, what people will journal around and do mindset work around is confidence. And I remember there was a time, this is years ago, before I even had an online business. I had my cleaning business at the time. I was working on my confidence, and I went to the library and I got this book. It was all on how to be more confident, and it had this hypnosis CD, and I would lay down on my living room floor and I would listen to the audio and be like, I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more confident. And I did that for months. And guess what? Nothing really changed because I wasn't taking action. I wasn't doing anything that was going to grow me. It wasn't going to actually stretch me and make me uncomfortable. Confidence is going to come through action. You can journal all day long. You can spend 4 hours a day journaling around how you're going to be more confident. It's not going to shift until you actually do the thing that you're afraid to do. So many things are going to come through action. You're going to feel more confident. Clarity is another thing. So many people in my world are newer in business, and clarity is something that they're really struggling with. They have a million different ideas for what they want to do in their business. They have 14 different ideal clients, and they need to get clarity so they can put themselves out there and market effectively. The clarity isn't going to come just from journaling alone. Part of it can. I'm all for writing out like who it is that you want to work with, getting clear on your ideal client, your soulmate client. That starts in your journal. But you're not going to actually get clear on who that person is until you start messaging, until you start getting on the phone with people, until you start having real conversations. That's how you're going to get the clarity that you're seeking. It's going to come through action. And the same thing goes with moving through fear, which is something that we kind of touched on already. But you're not going to get over that nervousness that, oh my God, I can't fucking do this, unless you do the thing. And I always think it's really funny when people come to me and they want some sort of like magic solution to get over their fears or to eliminate that feeling so they can get out there and take action in their business. It's like the answer you're seeking is the action. It's the action that you need to take. That's the thing. So if your mindset work isn't working, that's the first thing to look at. Where have you allowed yourself to be too comfortable? Maybe things have been rolling along fine for you in your business, but you know you're ready to grow. And this is exactly what happened to me literally the last 2 days. I was in a space where things were okay. Things were good, but I knew I was capable of doing so much more. And I wanted to really finish off this year in a strong space. And I felt into it, and I ended up investing in a program. And that felt like a big stretch for me. It was something I wasn't planning on investing in. It came around, right time, right place. I invested in the program. Then I decided to sign on with a coach for a month of private coaching at an investment level that was higher than anything else I've invested in on a month-to-month basis. Like it was a big fucking stretch. I had fears come up. I had a lot of fears come up. I had some doubt come up, like, holy fuck, what if I can't pull this off? The only way I know I'm going to grow is if I allow myself to be stretched like that. And that's the second piece I want to talk about here is if you know that your mindset work isn't working, if you've been journaling out the same thing for months and months and months, if you have been wrestling with the exact same inner demons, the fears, the stories, the limitations, if you've been going through this process and nothing has shifted, get support. Reach out, find a coach who resonates with you or who you resonate with, who you vibe with, and just fucking get support because that's what this industry is all about. And coming from my own personal experience, I spent years in therapy and I believe therapy is very valuable. I think it's very important, but through my own personal experience, nothing has helped me change my life more than coaching. I stand by it 110%, even though the industry sometimes annoys the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie. There's some really shady fucking shit going on in this industry. Generally speaking though, coaching works because it forces you to grow into the person you already are that you just don't realize yet. It literally forces you to up level. So if you're stuck, if you've been trying to do it yourself, for the longest time and nothing is shifting, just reach out and get support. All right, you guys. So to give you a brief little recap of what we talked about today, 3 reasons why your mindset work isn't working. Number 1, you are still writing out the same vision that you've been writing out for months and months, maybe even years, and absolutely nothing in that vision is coming into your physical reality. It's something that feels really good to write about. It feels really good to visualize, to dream about, to throw on your fucking vision board, but absolutely nothing is coming into your physical reality. That's the first sign. Sign number 2 is the exact same fears and limitations are coming up and they still have the same charge for you. So the same fear is holding you back from doing the live stream, from starting the podcast, from DMing people about your offer. The same fears are coming up and they still take you out. Like you're out for like a day because you can't deal with this crippling anxiety or fear. Okay. It's one thing to have it surface. It's another thing to linger in that energy for a long period of time and allow it to hold you back. And then the third thing is your results haven't changed. Plain and simple. Look at your bank account. Look at your bank account. Look at your audience growth. Look at the different things that you're using as markers in your business. Okay? And if your results haven't changed, your mindset work gets to be still a thing for you. I'm not saying stop doing mindset work. I fully believe in it. But you need to be taking different actions. Something else needs to change. You either need to shift the mindset work you're doing, take different action, align your energy. I believe in a combination of all three. And how we fix this, the solution to this, number one is to take action. It's probably different action. It's probably a lot scarier. It's probably a lot fucking scarier than what you're doing. If you've been doing the same thing day in and day out in your business and nothing's changing, and you've been holding on to that for, I usually say with a strategy, 3 to 6 months, give it 3 to 6 months. If nothing changes, if you're not seeing any growth whatsoever, definitely take a look at things. But sometimes these things take time to build. I get that. But if you've been doing the same thing day in and day out for the last 2 fucking years and your results haven't shifted, you need to be doing something different. That something different is probably something that's very uncomfortable, right? And then the second piece around this that's really going to help you shift things is to hire support. All right, you guys, so that's what I have for you today. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. If you are looking for a one-to-one coach to grow your business, I have 2 spaces open at the 2021 rates, and then my prices are going up and they are doubling. So reach out, send me a DM if you want support. And if you want to hang out further on Facebook, you can find me over inside my private Facebook group, Ignite Your Purpose. All right, take care, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will speak to you in the next episode.